This is Zed and Ned right here, you know what I'm saying? Just giving you the advice of
Zed and Ned. I love taking myself to the movies and watching a movie by myself. I just started
liking to do that, actually. I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I watched that by myself.
Yo, let's go.
Dude,
let's go. Jeez. Alright, I'm trying to not make this like official. I wasn't even thinking about putting that in the video, but if I do, that would make it not really official, you know? I'm not trying to make this official. Yeah.
It really makes it official.
Exactly. Oh, damn. But I'm here with Devon Werkheiser.
What's up, guys?
That's the correct pronunciation.
You nailed it.
100%. There we go.
And your name's Nathan Zed?
It just rolls off the tongue.
It really does.
It does, right? We just snuck into UCLA.
Yeah, and, we're in UCLA School of Law right
I don't go to this school. None of us out here go to this school. Yeah, no, I mean, it's just great to have you here because honestly, I was like, I made my video, ZED's Declassified. I literally just thought of the name and I was like, I have to make a video about it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know where it was gonna go, but I was just like, it has to be done. And this was 2 years ago when I tweeted that I had to do it, and then I finally made it happen this year.
Yep.
After I graduated.
In a college full of all-nighters, insane professors, and just having $0 to your name. Nathan Zed, that's me. My two best friends try to do the impossible.
Yeah, tweeting it at you and just being like, dude, like, I love the show. Like, this is like, you know, if you could just check it out real quick, that'd be great. That was enough for a full circle thing for me, but just to have you here right now is just like ridiculous.
The internet is a weird and cool place. I watched your video and I hadn't seen any of your stuff.
Yeah, let me get your exact reaction because I only saw one tweet, but I want to know.
Yeah,
like,
no,
exactly
I was just stoked. I saw your video and was like, oh, I like this guy. I'm like, oh, this guy's great. Like, you did it justice. You nailed the tone. Like, you nailed the NED'S Declassified tone.
Class buddy.
What's good?
A class buddy is your acquaintance in class that you only talk to in class.
And then just even in the parts where you're just talking, I'm like, oh, I like this guy. So when you reached out to like say, hey, let's meet up in LA, I'm like, yeah, let's do it, man.
I feel like one thing that at least I can relate to with how the show was done is just there's silliness to it and it's funny, but I feel like at the end of the day you're actually giving out real advice, and that's what I really have always wanted to do with my own videos. Is like make it entertaining but give people something to walk away with. Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I just respect the show for that.
Yeah, that was the beauty of Scott Fellows, who created it. Like that's it. That's the whole heart of our show. Is like, yeah, we want to make it super entertaining, but he really does want to talk to a young audience and like give them something that they can actually use and apply in their life or make them feel less alone. And I don't know, life's mystery, like that I got to be a part of that show is incredible because this is what I care about in my life now. Like same as you said, like with my art, with my music, with the college talks I'm doing, like all of it for me is about relating to an audience and letting them know like, hey, we're all in this together. It's gonna be okay and it's all insane. Like life's hard and I see you and I get you. Yeah, so for NED'S to have been that and that to be kind of like my first thing acting wise in LA, like my first big thing, yeah, it feels pretty like, I don't know, it feels pretty great. Yeah.
And I think that's like why people have just, I wouldn't have made that video if I didn't connect with it in such a way.
Exactly.
And just to have something like that in your life, I feel like it's just really cool. Just the idea that people would be able to grow up with it and still have such a good memory because it did help them through.
For sure. No,
school.
People ask like, do you get tired of people calling you Ned or anything like that? And it's like, no, I would be ungrateful or unaware to try and distance myself from that project because the fans who are calling me Ned, like they had a connection with the show. I get nothing but love from fans of NED'S. There's like a real special place in people's heart for that show. Yeah. So I'm not gonna on that. Like, yeah, I don't love being called Ned all the time, but I'm not bothered by it. It's like, yeah, man, that was me. Like, that's dope. Like, let's talk. I love the feedback that I get from people on like, yo, this really helped me when I was going through a tough time. Middle school was hard for me or high school was hard for me. I wasn't the coolest kid and your show really helped me get through a difficult time. I get those messages all the time. Feels really cool to be a part of that. And that's like, I think that's good learning for anyone out there who wants to make it or wants to be a creator. Yes, create, but don't create just to make you famous or just to get attention on you. What feels really amazing is when you create something that helps someone else and makes them go like, oh, I'm able to move through my life better because of what you created. That feels amazing. Yeah. So that's like a great thing to aim for with whatever you're creating. And I think that's what you're doing. That's the tone I got from the ZED's Declassified.
ZED's Declassified.
My man.
So you're saying, or you said that you get a lot of positive feedback from the show, but I just wanted to ask about like, so all of us kind of have had to learn how to not value other people's opinions of ourselves, especially when you're like going through school. You were in the public eye from a young age, and I just wanted to ask if was there criticism that like hit you back then, or how did you kind of get over not putting too much emphasis on like how people's opinion of you mattered to you, I guess?
It's every day, man.
Still this day.
Yeah, that's an awareness, and it's a self-awareness that you have to hold every day. I'm pretty good at it now, but it's not like I'm unaware of, it's not like I absolutely don't care what people think of me. Of course I do. I'm human, and like I have to work with my own self-worth sometimes as it pertains to like I work day jobs now, and I'll sometimes see friends of mine who are actors who have been crushing it, and I'll see them at my day job, and they don't really care or judge it. They know what it is, but like there's definitely some part of me, some voice in my head that's like, man, like I'm seeing, you know, so-and-so at my day job. I want to be acting. I want to be talking about my next project, not my day job. Even though my jobs have been so good for like my development as a human, I'm so glad I've had to work day jobs, truly, because I grew up acting. That's not normal. Man, to have grown up like getting my ass kissed and like making a bunch of money and being on sets my entire life, never having worked a day job, that's not a way to grow up normal or able to relate to more people. So I'm glad I'm working these jobs, but I still have that conversation of like, I should be doing more, or I want to be more successful than I am, or I want people to see me in a certain way. But it just comes down to like looking at your life, where you're at, and making your standards set by yourself. I have to set my own standard for me. It's not set by anyone else. It's not set by what people think of me. I set it by how consistently I show up for the people in my life, how consistently I show up for myself. Is my life in balance with good habits and bad habits? Am I progressing? Am I learning? So it's an everyday thing, the conversation of self-worth. And most of the time, people outside of you are not the best source for feedback for your own value. Like, it should be with a conversation with something higher and bigger than you, like overall life with a capital L. It should be maybe with your family, but sometimes family is not even good feedback for your own self-worth, you know? So it's kind of a conversation with you, and it's something that has to be every day, man. And being an actor is weird.
I'm gonna figure that out.
It's weird.
The next couple of years.
Yeah, as you come to LA, man, like I definitely swing into low self-worth conversations plenty of times. Like it's hard to carry these dreams and have them not be fulfilled in the ways you want. It's hard to go out for auditions that like you want to book and not book them for 10 years. Like the rejection is real. It gets in there, man. But it's kind of, I think it's the war of art. It's what we signed up for by wanting to be artists and wanting to be creatives. Yeah.
Actually, good ass answer. Holy, oh my gosh,
my dude.
That actually did like I really rate that. Actually, for real,
it's Maine behind the camera. Come here.
Yeah. Get in here, man.
We're all there.
That's my dude.
So, like for real, that's like I feel like it made me understand you a little bit more too. So many people don't even talk about that element. You know what I mean?
Everyone's trying to seem shinier than they are. They're trying to seem like better than they are. So I think people don't know how to talk about the real I like the actors that do. There's plenty that are authentic, and like even Bella Thorne, man, right? Like she's huge, but she is getting in there and talking about the realest publicly, and I appreciate it so much because sometimes we get caught in as actors or whatever, people trying to make it, you get caught in your own like salesmanship, and then you'll go to these parties in LA or go to these events or go to the red carpets and watch people's interviews, man. So many actors, I'm like, you're not a real person. Like they're out here just like, yeah, no, I'm good and everything's good. And everything's going great. And it's like, no, it's not. It's a struggle. It's both great and terrible at the same time. And like, just be a real person, please.
It's crazy actually that you brought up Bella Thorne, just because I have a lot of respect for her, just because like I've seen how much she's been able to open herself up. But she gets a ton of hate for even doing that kind of thing.
Oh, for sure.
It's just ridiculous.
No matter what, you're gonna get hate.
What I actually did at this point, to be honest, I kind of realized I'm always going to either have these comments take away from me or add from me.
Sure.
Or add to me, I mean.
Sure. Like the negative ones?
The negative ones would take away from me and the positive ones would add to me.
Right.
And I didn't want to get the ego boost.
Yeah, yeah.
And
it's
like it works both ways.
You want to avoid both, kind of.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And at this point now, I literally just post what I want to post and then I get off the internet. And I have finally got to that point where I can do that, where it doesn't like stress me out too much.
That's really smart, dude.
It took me months to actually get to that point.
That's really smart.
Holy.
If you read every response, it's either gonna inflate your ego, or of course you'll get like 100 great comments and one shitty one, and it lands because we're human. We care. Like that one that's like stupid Ned. I'm like. Ned. And I want to not care, but like, of course it hits.
Most of the time I realized when I'm looking for all these comments and it's like the one that is negative, now that I'm confident in my own work and I put it out, no one can tell me that it's bad. But before, it's like sometimes I'm not super confident in it and I put it out. And when I find the one, it validates what I'm already thinking about myself.
Your own insecurity.
Yeah. So I'm like,
interesting.
So I'm like, dang, they were right. And then all the other ones, positive ones, I'm like, they're probably lying about something. Like, they cannot be all telling like me that this is actually good, you know?
Interesting.
So, but I kind of gotten out of that, and it took a while, but not in the same way that you were, you know, on television, but I was on the internet since I was like a kid, though.
Got it.
Like since I was like 13 years old.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, like it was something that I kind of realized only in the past couple years have I really completely lived for my own self.
Good.
Not what other people are going to think is funny or what other people are going to think.
As an artist, it's super important, man. And just as people, we take feedback from our lives, and that's how we determine like how we're going to grow, if we're on the right track, if we're not on the right track. I don't know, the feedback from internet comments, we all look at it, but like, man, it's such a dangerous source of feedback to listen to like navigate your life. The better source is like, am I stoked on what I made? Great, I'm gonna put that out and then I'm gonna keep moving. Like, it's good you're figuring out that foundation now, especially before you come to LA and just get in this big creative cluster.
You kind of just went into it just now, but how do you deal with it when it feels like everybody else is like 5 steps ahead of you? That's something that I've kind of had to, you know, get out of myself. Even when you're like at a young age these days, it feels like you're supposed to be doing more than what you're doing.
Big old comparison, man.
Yeah.
We all go through it, but especially as like actors, like it's so easy to look at the other people and go, oh, but they're there and I'm supposed to. The truth is like you just can't compare your path to anyone else's, and like you just have to be on yours. Does that mean I'm in that all the time? No, dude. I watch people I grew up with working on shows all the time and like new movies, and do I want to be doing that? Yes, I do. And do I know that like I'm good and can be? Do I think it's a matter of my artistic worth? No, I know I'm good. I know I'm ready for this stuff. And yeah, man, sometimes it totally wigs me out when I see like, oh, so-and-so got a new show. I'm like, so there's both. It's like, yeah, the truth is to just stay in my lane and like know that what's coming for me is meant for me. Ultimately, I wouldn't trade my life for anyone else's. Even friends who I love what their careers have done, I wouldn't trade their career for their life. I like my life. My lessons are my lessons, and like my learning is my learning. So I wouldn't trade it, but it's hard not to look over and like see people crushing it and wanting it. And it's like, it doesn't take away from their success. I want them to have it too, but I'm just like, where's mine, man? But I think every artist has to go through that. Yeah,
it's honestly difficult just because, like, I don't want it to come from a place of envy, you know?
Exactly.
Like, I don't want it to be like...
I hate it when it gets in there.
Yeah, it does get in there.
And I have to, like, detach it from that.
I've had to kind of just remind myself, or just to at least get out of that space, just be like, no, that's not where I want my heart to be. Like, well, first of all, what do I look like even being bitter about someone else's success? So I just try to, like, wish them more success. The opposite of what, like, my instinct is trying to do.
That's big, man. That's big. That's super key. Because, our default human systems will do some like, I want that. Like, they'll go into envy, and it's really cool to take that shift and go, nope, I'm gonna send that person love. I'm gonna keep doing my thing. And the truth is, it feels like competition, right? When you see someone crushing it, there's like this thing that feels like it's a competition. But the truth is, nowadays, everyone gets a seat at the table if you make it for yourself. The market is super saturated, which can feel overwhelming, but it's not. If you can find your audience, then do it. They're out there. Everyone can do it. Yeah, it's just about growing your little thing organically, I guess.
Forget the video real quick, but I actually saw like you were talking about on a podcast, just the idea that you were like this much off of the social media boom.
Yeah.
What year was that it kind of ended?
Like 2007 we stopped filming Ned's, and like I think Twitter was 2008, or I don't know the exact time, but I know like our show missed the social media boom by like a year, and it's weird to have like missed that wave.
Yeah.
And like I tried to catch it, but it just never did.
You can still catch it. That's the thing. Like
for sure, for sure. I mean, listen, I'm out here.
I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you right now.
I'm out here posting, dude.
Honestly, just like off the nostalgia alone, people have such a soft spot for it that, and you, like, I feel like
it's true.
They just don't know what you're doing right now. But if you were in front of their face,
you also got to work it like it's a job.
Yeah,
and I haven't quite gotten on that page of like wanting to work the social media creation. I don't judge it, but like I watched Andrew Bachelor, I watched King Batch and Logan Paul work their platform and watched how much they hustle it, and I was like, oh, their numbers are not a fluke. This is how you do it. You just work it, and I don't know that I want to work it like that.
At that point, I feel like social media and your own reality just gets blurred.
Exactly.
It's not, I feel like you wouldn't really be able to enjoy your own life as much. So
yeah, that's been my resistance to it.
I was gonna ask in general, like, do you use social media a lot, and do you try to have to balance the two? Because a lot of people in school, even, you know, like they have to figure out how to. For me, I quit all social media my last year of college, just because I was like, do I really want to think about my last year and think, oh, what do I had to post a tweet or post a video or whatnot.
Respect.
First I quit for 4 months. I made a video about the fact that I quit for 4 months, just being like where that kind of made me feel, and, you know, got better at like not caring about being on social media all the time, or making my own memories instead of like sharing them with other people. And I posted that, and I was thinking I was supposed to get back on, but then I was like, you know, I'm gonna quit again. 5 more months I quit, and then I had the best last year of college I could have possibly ever had. I think that was the best year out of all the 4 years.
Dude, I love that so much.
Hey, thank you, you know.
Really, that's like, that's some willpower, and like that's serious life awareness. Cause yeah, it's taken away from all, I'm fully addicted. These phones were designed to addict us. Like, that's out there now. They designed it to hijack our brains. And I'm fully hijacked, dude. I'm scrolling for nothing. I'm just on it scrolling, and I have to like literally like force my hand to not reach for the phone. And then that thing you said of like creating your own memories instead of trying to share them, that's something I'm pretty good at, that of like, I want to like film this to capture it. Like, no, just be here. When's the last time you just like, even sunsets now, you're trying to catch it on a phone, when first of all, it's gonna happen every day. Second of all, the photo is never gonna be as good. I was just like, it is temporary, just be here for it. But it's hard, man. We all want to capture everything now and share it and show. I swing into balance with it, but I'm out of balance with it a lot.
I mean, we were just having a lot of conversations about it. Maybe behind the camera.
Yeah.
Basically what I literally started doing was putting like timers on it, and I give somebody else the password, so I only have like an hour
of social media time
usually
to answer your things.
Do post what I need to post.
Like, I have to be posting.
Yeah, 100%.
It's marketing for who I am.
Exactly.
Like, have to do it.
But at the same time, I realize most of the time I do spend on it is literally, I'm doing nothing, and then I just have the urge, and I get to Instagram, and I'm scrolling before I even realize that I'm there. I'm there, I snap out of it for a second, I was like, whoa, what am I doing? Yeah, how did I get here?
It's like, you're on it before you've chosen to be on it.
That's actually crazy.
Oh, it's so scary, dude. I don't know how to get off it. I'm addicted.
All right, so this is not going to be the advice section. This is the me advice to you.
Yeah, dude. That's so cool that you did that for your last year, and consciously to say like, I want to remember my last year of college and like have actually been here and not on here.
And I didn't have to stress about even just realizing that I would wake up every morning, and the first thing I do is read comments about myself. It's like, it's gonna set the tone for the day, you know? What's the Kanye lyric? It's like, crowdsource your self-esteem, basically, from Instagram comments.
Rather than like building it by how you live your day.
And I feel like building that foundation before I move out here, I could have moved out here before I went to school. Like, if I just said forget school and like came out here, I probably would have honestly been eaten alive. So that's why, like, I respect people like you that have just been here since you were like a kid and you were in the whole system and everything. You turned out like, you seem like you're okay.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah. That's honestly like very impressive, just considering how many other people
a lot of people
aren't.
I think it's dope you went to school, man. I'm sure your parents are stoked you got your degree, dude. That's huge.
Thanks,
and that matters, man. Like, yeah, like your parents did a lot for you, I'm sure. So like, if they feel good about a degree, great, get that degree, guys. Like, there's so much time to be doing this creation stuff. You don't have to be in LA at 18.
That's the thing. Just like the idea that, because they try to make it seem like your whole life is just, you have to do it right now. It's short. Honestly speaking, there's a lot of time in there to actually get stuff done, like school. Basically, I was like, this internet thing is gonna be here for the rest of my life. We're not gonna get off Twitter in the next 10 years, to be honest, unless another freaking thing comes out, but we'll be on that too.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, the school at this age with these friends this is it right now. So I wanted to just be able to finish that, and the fact that I did is dope.
So much respect, dude. That is like, that's some life wisdom, man. Love it.
I think I read something that you were talking about, just like working on yourself, dating yourself before like trying to get that validation also from somebody else. I don't know, I kind of just want to hear what you think about like figuring out who you are. Not like necessarily relationships with other people, but like a relationship with yourself.
You're gonna spend more time with yourself than anyone else in the world ever. Better have a good relationship with that person. Like, and it's not always easy. Like, yeah, sometimes it's work or commitment to have a good relationship with yourself, like to take care of yourself and know why you're doing it, you know, creating a, like I said before, like a balance of healthy and less healthy habits. Like, I don't think any of us are going to be perfect. Like, we're all going to have vices and stuff. Can you create good habits to balance those out? And as far as like dating yourself, yeah, I've talked about that before. Like, I love taking myself to the movies and watching a movie by myself. I just started
liking to do that, actually. I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I watched that by myself.
Yo, let's go.
Dude,
let's go.
I love going to the movies by myself because that's time for me to just be with me. I don't have to talk about my opinion about the movie to anyone else. I don't have to hear their stupid, wrong opinion about the movie. It's just me, and I love going to the movies. So like, I love taking myself out. Many of us spend our time trying to avoid solitude at all costs. We're on the phone so that we're connected to people. We're talking to our friends. We're going to see people. Constantly avoiding what it actually feels like to sit and be alone in life because it's uncomfortable.
Because that's, at the end of the day, it's like, you're never gonna get away from you. Because, I mean, when I was feeling like low at one point, I was like, even if I go to the most secluded mountain in the world, I'm still gonna have these thoughts, dude. So I have to figure out how to deal with this, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's an important life skill. So my parents got divorced 3 years ago, and my mom said she had never spent a weekend night by herself in her entire life until my parents got divorced.
Wow.
Like, that's real. She was a super social being, and she still is. She's like, Devon, like, I realized, like, I have never spent a weekend by myself, because it was family home, then college, all the roommates out of college, then my dad, all their friends. Like, weekends were always either with my dad or with friends or other people. And like, so now she's finding this peace with spending time by herself at 60. So she's learning it now and loving it. If you can learn it earlier than that, how to spend a night by yourself and not lose your mind, it's a good skill to have moving forward in life.
Wow, that whole life without one
weekend night on her own.
I just think about how many times I just spend like by myself, just loving it.
Me too.
Just some food and Netflix, and I'm good, dude.
I'm good. I Netflix and chill myself all the time, dude.
I mean, no girls, bro. Come on.
No, I'd prefer not.
Exactly. To be honest,
they're like, "Can I come over?" Nah. This is me time, baby.
Oh my God. Honestly, I feel like that was a good amount of time, especially with like the amount of time we actually spent.
I'm like, you guys have like five videos.
Yeah, I just wanted to honestly like, I want to plug you're doing a tour, right?
It's not a tour. I'm like, setting these up one by one.
Oh, for real?
College talks. Yeah, I might do Virginia Tech. There's a kid talking to me about Virginia Tech.
Dude.
I just kind of realized there's this request for a Ned's college survival guide or a Ned's adulting. There's this meme that goes around, can Ned make a new survival guide because I don't know what I'm doing. I can't greenlight a new show, but like, what can I do to answer that call for this audience? And I realized, let me come talk to colleges about life and like what I've learned. People have a lot of ideas about what it is to be a child actor and to have had childhood success. Like, everyone thinks I'm super rich. I'm not. And everyone thinks it solves certain life problems that it doesn't. So I've wanted to get in rooms with young people and talk to them about like, yo, here's my experience. Here's the good. Here's the bad. here's what I'm learning in my life, and like here's what I'm going through, and like let's talk about it, because I think you know, we need more real connection in this world. And yeah, so I've been able to set up a few college talks. I'm setting up a bunch of talks for 2020. If you go to college and want me to come speak at your school, get in touch with me on social media, get in touch with your programs boards. Like there's all sorts of committees at colleges that set up events like this. It's like a lecture and then a Q&A and a meet and greet, and it's been amazing, man. Just DM me if you want me to come to your school, and I'll send you like the form and stuff. I have new music coming out in January that I'm super excited for. I'm also gonna launch a Patreon, and so for people who wanna be a part of that, they can come on the Patreon and like hear all the new songs I'm writing and my process with it.
Yo, just want to say thank you again for joining me. We just snuck into UCLA.
Yeah,
and,
we're in UCLA
made this happen.
School of Law right
I don't
now.
go to this school. None of us out here go to this school.
Although I'm thinking of
yeah, he's about to just enroll. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate you again.
Thanks.
And don't forget to, I'm just kidding, we're not doing any subscribe or whatever. I just okay.
Like,
that's the end of the video.
Smash that like button,
there
gamers.
we go.